Hello, potato. It is just after Halloween and we have left the comfort of the void space to head up the hill to our mostly annual trip to Apple Hill. We're starting out, as always, at High Hill Ranch. It's our traditional place to start out to not get the donuts, but maybe get a fritter. It is a weekday and it's very early. It's just now opening time. The place is supposed to be open for about 10 minutes now, so a lot of things aren't up and running yet, and they still have like leaf blowers going. You can probably hear those cleaning things up for all the visitors today. But we're gonna start out here at High Hill Ranch, see what there is to see, and then head on to some of the other locations here at Apple Hill and just see if there's anything interesting new stuff. It's just after Halloween, so I expect to see maybe more of a focus towards Christmas. I mean, there's still some Halloween stuff up here, but I think we're going to see a little more of a focus towards Christmassy things now. If we came a little earlier, probably would have been a little more mix of both. And yeah, let's just see what new things there are to see here at High Hill Ranch and other places at Apple Hill. We'll start off by checking out the Apple stand, which is more of a shop than a stand now. Get a lot of well, used to get a lot of like their locally made Apple stuff. Of course, this is where you can buy the infamous Apple donuts. Not a fan of those, but looks like we're having kind of less apples again this year. Last year there was, I guess, kind of a growing issue, and they didn't have a ton. And this year it looks like we're kind of continuing in that vein, because as you can guess from that sign there, that used to be where boxes of apples were. Looking through, I noticed something that I've kind of been noticing for the last few visits is High Hill used to focus a lot on their kind of own brand stuff that they, I don't know necessarily made it themselves, but it was made for them and labeled for them. But now I'm seeing a lot more things here that are just things you could buy in stores, like the General hot sauce. The bottles are cool. Maple Mayhem, that sounds actually interesting. But I mean, these are clearly not like exclusive to here. Also, Mrs. Renfro's I can buy at the grocery store. Stonewall Kitchen, we've got stuff from them in the Taste of Home packs. Now there's still Apple, or rather High Hill Ranch stuff here, and I am considering perhaps getting some garlic and habanero olives or some chipotle pepper ones. Those won't be terribly spicy, but they would at least have probably a good flavor to them. But yeah, it's just a lot of stuff that is just things I can buy in normal stores, like some more Stonewall Kitchen stuff here. Soup mixes. Not familiar with Papares. Well, that could be interesting. A German apple scone mix. Vegan apple pie filling. So those are things I don't remember seeing before. That's kind of cool. I don't know. Does apple pie in a jar? I guess they have that stuff in cans, so why not? Yeah, just a lot of stuff that is, I mean, certainly very boutique-ish. And definitely probably appeals to the people that come up from like the Bay Area and stuff to buy their pumpkins or trees. But I don't know, I mean, for me, I definitely liked it a little better when they had more of their own brand stuff, just personally. But again, there's some stuff we might pick up. I mean, not Stonewall Kitchen, I can buy that just in the store. But some interesting looking things. We got cranberry relish. Probably get some olives here. Also probably get some more at when we go to Boa Vista. We do plan to hit Boa Vista at some point. And I got those quite nice habanero olives there last year. But I think I'm going to try the chipotle olives. And of course, those will get their own video in the coming weeks. Find anything good down there? You keep at it. So the pie house is not open for like savory food yet, so I'm gonna come over here and get something from the donut shop. So since you are legally required to buy a baked good at High Hill Ranch, we did go and get something from the donut shop. We'll have to pick up a couple of the donuts, but I have gone with the vastly superior apple fritter, which does not have any wrapper on it. So let's use a napkin for that. It's making my hand all sticky. It's actually still warm. I don't know if I've ever actually had a fresh, warm apple fritter. They usually, cold in the box in the donut shop. Let's give it a try. Try a nice, freshly made, warm apple fritter. Quite nice. A little, makes me a little bit of a cinnamon roll. Like the gooiness of the frosting still on it and stuff. Or icing, I guess it technically is on a donut. Yeah, quite nice. A little different than apple fritters from like the donut shop. A little thicker, a little rounder, a little more, I think, uniform in shape. They tend to be a little spread out. This one's kind of got almost like a little burger patty kind of a thing going on with it. Or a large burger patty thing going on with it. Yep. Definitely vastly superior to an apple donut. As you can see, it is starting to get a little busier here now, so I think we're going to take a spin around the crafty area and then head on to our next stop. This shop used to be full of Christmas ornaments. It's not so much anymore. Do have some cute little Halloween leftovers in this shop. Those are quite nice. But of course, Christmas and Thanksgiving do have to be acknowledged. It looks like an owl, but I feel like it's supposed to be a turkey. Just because it's Thanksgiving. And of course, we have gonks. Lots of gonks. It's going to take restraint to not buy at least one gonk. Mystery bags.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Look at Welcome 49. There's your...
We've got mystery bags. It's like 80s, 70s, and 60s for $10. Can I pass up a mystery bag for $10? All right, so I couldn't pass up a mystery bag from the redwood carving booth. And of course I'm doing it with the sun behind me, which is the smartest way to do this. Just picked up the 80s bag, the time traveler mystery bag back to the 80s, because I don't, the 70s and 60s aren't really me. So let's see what we got for our $10. It could be anything, it said. It could be a boat. What? Oh, we actually have a number of things in here for 10 bucks. Okay, so it's not all just carved stuff. It's actually like a full-on mystery bag of things. We've got a fake $100 bill. So hey, we've already made money. We've got 80s trivia. You can go ahead and pause it if you want to read that. We've got, they used to sell these like at the impulse counter at the grocery store. We have a Betty Crocker new pasta cookbook. It was 25 cents somewhere. It's clearly gotten some love in its life. We've got a VHS cassette of The Bodyguard. Now, I do want to point out, I'm pretty sure The Bodyguard was 90s. When did The Bodyguard come out? Legitimately, I don't have this movie, but I don't really have a lot of... Yeah, 1992. They've messed up there. That's not the 80s. They didn't have a 90s bag. I probably would have gotten a 90s bag if they'd had one. We've got a wood flower. You know, for 10 bucks, there's a lot of stuff in here. It's definitely got quantity, if not necessarily quality. We have a 1980s Trivial Pursuit card. Oh yes, you can read that, pause it, and put your answers in the comments, and I will let you know if you were right or not. There's more. There's like another bunch of stuff in here. We've got fortune. Okay, again, I think this predates the 80s by quite a bit, but I remember these fortune-telling fish. You put them on your hand, and then like the way they curl up, reacting to the heat in your hand, answers your mystical, magical questions.
Had one of those.
Everybody had one of those in the 80s. Got a bracelet with some skull and bones on it. Very cute. Got a Tootsie Roll. No comment on Tootsie Rolls. Got a baseball card. Who do we have here? Rob Deere. I have no idea who that is. I'm assuming it's not valuable or it wouldn't be in here. And then we have something wrapped in... Oh, there's more stuff. There's more stuff down here. I think we have looks like a Happy Meal toy. From Catwoman. I'm pretty sure this is from the 90s as well. Yeah, 1991. I may actually have that Happy Meal toy somewhere. We've got a Monopoly card. Because why not? We have an itty bitty magnifying glass that does actually magnify. Got a Lisa Frank style sticker. I don't know if it's actually Lisa Frank, but it's certainly in that vein. We've got a wacky wall crawler guy. And we have two more things. And these are our like I think our wood things here. We've got a glass of some sort here. Just a cocktail glass. Because, you know, we drank a lot in the 80s. I mean, I didn't, it was a child, but people did. And finally, our wood item is the word awesome. The word awesome. And that's a pretty 80s word. So I don't know about, you know, if any of this is necessarily good stuff, but I would say there is definitely $10 worth of stuff in this bag, and I certainly have done worse on a mystery bag. All right, let's move on. Well, down there is the footpath we took last year on our journey to this location, but seems to be boarded up, and they've built a McMansion over there, so that has something to do with it. So a lot of breath, but our next stop here is Grandpa's Cellar. Now it's been not the next nearest place to High Hill, but last year we came here and waited in line for 2 hours for the coffee flights. But today, the line is much, much shorter. So let's get us some coffee. Make our way through the maze here, I think. and get ourselves some coffee flights.
Well, your kids are good for one more, maybe two. Yeah. They would have fun never end. Either we're playing with other couples hanging out like this, or we're hanging out with grandkids. Grandkids, yeah.
And after a much, much, much shorter wait than last year, we are ready to take flight. This year we picked up a hot chocolate flight, an apple cider flight, and the brand new holiday coffee flight. Yes, we couldn't not get coffee. So our hot chocolate flight is supposed to be peppermint, coconut, amaretto, and classic. Apple cider is classic, pomegranate, caramel apple, and peach apple. Maybe it was caramel apple that we didn't care for last year in the coffees. And then in the coffee flight itself, we have peppermint mocha, toasted white mocha, pumpkin pie, and sugar. I think pumpkin pie was one we didn't care for last year too. But we'll see. Maybe this year, things are different. So let's. What do you want to try? You want to start with the coffees, or you want to start with the cocos? The cocoa and the ciders are hot. You can actually see some steam coming off theirs. The coffees are cold.
The hot ones, I guess.
The hot ones. Start with the cocoa then at the front.
Sure.
All right, let's do the, I guess, start with the classic, right? That makes sense. Whatever makes sense. Let's try a little classic cocoa. Now, of course, probably better when we mix in the whipped cream, but for this point, we'll just drink them as they are. Yep, that is your basic standard hot cocoa, I think.
Yep.
No complaints. Nothing particularly special, but no complaints on it either. Next, let's move on to the amaretto. It's got a lovely little snowflake. I don't know if that's edible or not, but we're not going to find out at the moment. Tastes like a cordial cherry to me, without the cherry, but it's got the the syrup in a cordial cherry. What do you think?
It's not bad. Never been a fan of amaretto, but that's not bad.
So I didn't realize it was amaretto that I guess I was a fan of, because I like cordial cherries. That's what makes me think of as a cordial cherries. Let's try our coconut. Yep, that is very, very coconutty. Not in a bad way.
A good evening.
Not a fan?
No.
So are you so far you're just with the classic?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, peppermint. Surely peppermint will win you over. It's peppermint is melting and dripping off. Let's fix that a little bit. It's very pepperminty. You like that one?
It's very strong.
Yeah, all of them are very strongly flavored. That's actually kind of nice. So, okay, how do you rate the cocos?
First, second, third, fourth.
You like the classic the most?
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go amaretto, peppermint, coconut, and I'm going to put classic last. Not because it's bad, just because, I mean, it is just basic kind of bog standard hot cocoa. All right, let's move on to our ciders. Our caramel apple seems to have also melted. This is the peach cider. Yeah, I get the peach. It does kind of taste like the peach ring, though, that's on it, that's decorating it more than maybe necessarily an actual peach.
It's
You think it's more?
subtle.
It's there though, but it's more like a candy peach to me than a natural peach flavor. All right, this was our caramel apple, so I'm just going to be normal cider with caramel in it.
We lost our apple.
Yeah, we lost our little dehydrated apple. It's like 50 degrees out here, but it's all still melting. I guess because the cocoa's hot, or cider is hot. Almost like a little bit of a bitterness to me, though.
I like that one.
I don't dislike it. I just feel like there's like a little.
Which one was that?
That's the caramel apple.
Oh.
But I took like almost like a little a little bitterness, like almost like a little bit of a burnt flavor.
Sometimes caramel's burnt.
That's possible. All right, as you can see here, these are our pomegranates. They have pomegranate seeds in the bottom. Let's try that. Pomegranate's a kind of a divisive flavor, I think.
They might not even come from an apple.
A little, yeah, it's a little bit of the tartness of the pomegranate. What do you think?
It's not my favorite.
It's an interesting combination. It's because as with that, I get like a bitterness. That one I get like a tartness instead.
Yeah.
And then that's our classic cider, which is just kind of ringed with, I don't know, sugar, cinnamon sugar probably.
Caramel maybe.
Yep, that is the ciderist of cider. Yep, just your basic hot cider. You definitely can't go wrong with that. All right, and I've totally forgotten what these were. So that was obviously peppermint. That was sugar cookie, pumpkin pie, and white.
I think so.
All right, we'll start with white. I think that's the one that's probably going to impress us the least. Not a huge white mocha person.
Right, it is cold coffee.
I think they were cold last year too, though.
Yeah, no,
No.
not my favorite.
Yeah, I didn't think. But I do think. I think at least one of our flights last year had a pumpkin pie, and I think we did not care for it.
Maybe if we mixed in
The whipped cream.
more, it would be good.
But you know, people do have these without whipping them. Here is our pumpkin pie.
That was the one I got. We didn't like. It's really bitter.
Again, once you mix in the whipped cream, when we actually go to drink it, it'll be a little better. But neither of us are fans of I can't speak. Pumpkin spice. I'm fine with pumpkin. I'm just not a fan of pumpkin spice in my coffee. And yeah, that was definitely one we did not like last year, and not a huge fan this year. This one should be sugar cookie. Again, I think a common theme on these is you do really kind of need to mix in the whipped cream, because they're all fairly like strong coffees.
That one was better.
Oh, it's definitely better of the other ones. And I think peppermint's going to be probably going to be the winner of this one. Here's our peppermint. Definitely. Again, it still needs to have that chocolate and whipped cream mixed up into it,
Yep.
but it's got the best overall flavor, I think. It's the least immediately bitter.
Yeah. No, I kind of thought sugar cookie was that bitter either.
It wasn't.
It's a little creamy.
It wasn't as bitter as the other two, but I think the peppermint is sweeter,
Yeah.
even without mixing the stuff into it.
Right.
So I think for me, I'm gonna go peppermint's the best, then sugar cookie, then white, and then pumpkin pie. Same. So we liked the peppermint. Well, you liked the peppermint cocoa the best, right? Oh, you like the original cocoa the best. I like the peppermint the best. If that's not edible, no, that's paper. We should probably take that out before it melts into our drink. And then on the, did we talk about the ciders? We didn't. Okay. I think for the ciders, I'm gonna go. I think best is just the basic cider, followed by the pomegranate, the peach, and then the caramel.
I think original caramel, peach, and
You like the caramel better than the pomegranate?
yeah.
So I kind of like the tartness. And that one just has like a bitter note to me. But overall, what's the best thing on the board on our 3 flights here?
I would say the original cider.
Original cider? I think it's a hard choice. Because, I mean, obviously, like, we can rule some out. The worst in each category is definitely not going to be the best. Yeah, I guess I'll go with the cider. It's got a balance of, like, the sweetness. It's not overly sweet, but it's not as, like, bitter as some of the coffees are. So, yeah, okay, I'll go with that. The best thing on the 3 boards is the just basic original hot cider. There was a fourth board, but I think we did it last year. It's the Grandpa's Classic, and I'm pretty sure that was one of those we did last year. If you are interested in that, you can go back and watch last year's video. It's at the very end of that one, not towards the middle like this year it is. So we're now going to divvy up our drinks and finish them, and maybe look around Grandpa's cellar a little bit more. So we finished drinking our flights, and the line has gotten rather larger since we got into it, since we got here. So I'm definitely glad we came and did this early. Still not anything like last year where it was like, you know, all the way like halfway across the property, but it was worth it. The flights are very cool, fun little things, and glad we came back for them. Now let's look around. There's a few other things to look at here at Grandpa's Cellar, like the gift shop. So let's go do that, and then we'll head on to somewhere else. Ain't no laws when you're drinking with paws. Just so you know. We've got some Thanksgiving gonks. Got little cooking gift sets. Candles and skillets. Sourdough brew bread. Artisan beer bread mix. We've got more gonks. Everybody loves gnomes. Gnomes are awesome. Gonks are awesome. I know they're not technically the same thing, but who cares? Still awesome. They have an interesting variety of like their own brand hot sauces here. And I do still need to find something for this year's Christmas tacos video. So I'm not sure. This means orange juice, cane sugar, jalapeno pepper puree, good and evil hot sauce. Maybe something that would go good with this year's Christmas tacos. Roasted habanero could be good. Vidalia onion. Yeah, maybe I'll pick up something on our trip up here. I'll find something for Christmas tacos instead of just buying something in the store.
Devin, do you want a honey stick?
It's time to crack open a keg of honey.
Wow.
So the gift shop and the bake shop are pretty much all there is to at Grandpa's Cellar. It's a fairly small one, but popular largely because of their, I think the flights largely, because, hey, they're pretty fun. They're a fun little autumny thing to do. So now we're going to head on to our next place, which is just a short walk back up that road.
Speaking of things,
We have arrived at our next stop, Apple Ridge Farms. Now, they may not have coffee flights here, but as Grandpa's Cellar doesn't really have anything else, they have a lot else. We have craft stuff, we have gift shop stuff, and I think they have like fruit and stuff in there too. And there's stuff to actually do at this one. We have a maze. They do, I think, the gemstone panning. They've got stuff. There's stuff here to actually do. And look, you can even, if you sentence your children to the maze, you can actually climb up on these little steps here and oversee the entirety of the maze. Which should be fun, you know, if you're a small child. I am not a small child, so we aren't going to pay the $3.50 to do that. But we will look around at the gift shop, the food, the crafts. Get the full kind of Apple Hill experience in this location. Also, the traffic. The Apple Ridge Farms pumpkin patch may have closed for the year, but we can still at least enjoy the giant pumpkin. Here in the Apple Barn, we have a variety of sauces and ciders, as well as a variety of gifty items and some cider as well. You can make a whole jar of old fashions and have an old fashioned Christmas, or just say, drink up, Grinches. Of course, it wouldn't be complete without a gonk. They've cut the head off of Frosty. You can do some gem mining here. Buy yourself a bag of sand and take it over to the gem mining area and do a little panning for, you know, not gold, but, you know, for stuff. I think we have more of a kind of a kitchen-y theme in this gift shop. But we do still have gonks. Gonksgiving. I'm pretty sure if you have gonks, it's Gonksgiving. We have leftover Halloween stuff here, including a gonk mummy. How much is the gonk mummy? How much is the gonk mummy? 15. So it'd be half off. It'd be $7.50 for a gonk mummy. I think we should get a gonk mummy. Look, they have like crafty spanking boards for Friendsgiving when you have your friends come over and you whack them with a paddle. I mean, that's better than Thanksgiving in my book any day. Leaving crafts and gifts aside, let's head over to the food area. We have kettle corn. We have, of course, a bakery. Everybody in Apple has a bakery. Bakery and or a vineyard. Down there is the gemstone panning. Looks like they're maybe not it's on, it's running, but there's nobody using it right now. There's also a flower trail off that way. We're gonna take a pass on that. But let's check out what's here at the barbecue grill and see if we can't find ourselves some lunch. It is about lunchtime. Ooh, those French fries look quite nice. So I think we'll find something to eat here. We've decided to have lunch at Apple Ridge Farms. We've each picked up a pulled pork sandwich, and we're gonna split ourselves an order of cheese fries, because frankly, their fries look quite nice. Look like really good fries. So let's, of course, you can't have pulled pork without some barbecue sauce, but let's try the pork by itself first to see what it's like. We don't need to share this one because we each have our own. We got the same thing this time. All right. Says it's smoked for at least 12 hours. Very tender.
Really good.
Good flavor. I mean, it's, you know, sauce is not going to hurt it. But it does have that nice, like, smoky pulled pork flavor. Kind of like when we make it at home. Only maybe a little more tender. But then again, we don't tend to let it go for 12 hours, so that can make a difference there. Let's try it.
Ours is in a crock pot, and theirs is probably in a...
Like a smoker or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think the time also probably has something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try it with a little bit of sauce. Or try some sauce with a little bit of pork. That's not quite what I wanted to do. I have gone with the spicy Louisiana barbecue sauce. Most because they barely had enough of the smoky barbecue sauce for one person. It's a very thin sauce. Good flavor, a little sweet. I'm not getting a ton of heat off of it. I mean, I really didn't expect it to be super, super spicy, but I'm not getting a ton of heat. Let's try a fry, though. These fries look really good. All right, got some cheese here. Yeah, that coating on the fries is really nice. Gives it some extra crunch, of course, except for the cheese on it. It's not so crunchy anymore. But the crusty parts, that crunch, very nice fries.
Yep.
I mean, pretty much any fries are good fries, even bad fries are good fries. But these are actually particularly good fries. See, I don't think we've ever done a lunch here.
No.
We've gotten, we got pie here last year and cider, which of course we got cider again. Because I mean, you can't come to Apple Hill and not do cider, and it's probably in the low 60s, maybe high 50s. So hot cider does not go amiss. Not that we didn't just have hot cider like a little while ago at Grandpa's, but
It's very hot.
it is very, very hot. Well, probably being in an insulated cup as opposed to basically a glorified shot glass. But very nice. Not overly sweet, not overly tart. Just nice. It's very similar to the original cider in our flight. Maybe a little less sweet though.
A little less sweet.
Because that had like that like cinnamon sugar stuff on the ridge. Yeah, this will make a very acceptable lunch. Let's go ahead and join the Clean Plate Club. Now to walk off some of the calories from that very satisfying lunch. We're not going to do the gem mining, but we will go check out the flower trail in bloom. Apparently, it's just this way.
It's not so easy.
You come to a fork in the road. If you go to the upper route, it's easy. If you go the lower route, it's not so easy. Remember, walk at your own risk.
But I think the flowers are up there.
I think maybe less flowers on the not so easy path, but get to see the forest. And somehow it feels colder.
Yeah, it does.
It feels like legitimately 5 or 6 degrees colder than it did 20 feet ago. I'm guessing because of the shade.
Taking out that tree.
They tell you to stay on the path, and then they put a path that leads down to a drop. That's just a trick. You guys can look at a picture from though. Remember this tree, it'll be important later in the game. See, what they should tell you is that the upper trail has where all the flowers are, and the lower trail has where all the trees are. Explains where all the bees came from, though. Again, we are faced with a choice. We can go up here to where the flowers are, or we can go into the dark and foreboding woods. Obviously, we're going to go in the dark and foreboding woods. I've seen police procedurals. There's at least one dead body somewhere in this. Obviously, you can't smell this through the video, but it smells very much of like kind of vinegary, rotting, fermenting apples over here. There were a bunch of apples kind of spread around. Indeed, that looks like that might be a bunch of like apple mush or cores or something right there. So I'm sure that's what the smell's coming from. And I guess, you know, it could be worse. It could smell of decaying flesh. And here we finally reach the flowery portion of the flower trail.
Like a use for the bees.
All right, we've looked at flowers, we've eaten lunch, we've bought a leftover Halloween gonk. It's time to move on to somewhere else. And that next stop is Boa Vista. It's one we go to every time, usually our second stop, because it's right up the road from High Hill. But, you know, we want to do Grandpa next. This one's more of a food-focused location than, say, Apple Ridge. Although, but they have in the last few years added in some like selfie spots and like a little train to ride on and a pumpkin patch, which I'm sure is closed for the season. But one of the cool things here is they do have a working cider mill, which if you're lucky, you can actually see them pressing cider in. So they apparently have a very busy line for pies. This location also does apple ciders, like hard cider, which I might pick one up and try it later on, because I got one last year and it was quite good. Of course, I don't remember which one it was. We do have like a little sample center. We have a lot more apples than we had available at High Hill, as well as other produce. And of course, I think every place we've been today has face painting, because I think it's just a rule. Oh, and a new little selfie spot for your dog. And it looks like the cider mill is not in operation today. In fact, it looks like they maybe are doing some sort of maintenance on it. They're bottling a bunch of stuff in there, so maybe they've already done all the work for the week. But yeah, no cider pressing today, but we do have the woodshed over here with some interesting wood items and charcuterie boards and guns and stuff, so that's pretty cool. Rubber band guns. Yes, rubber band guns though. But an old-fashioned pop rifle. Last year when we were here, I picked up the spicy Asian garlic, which was sadly not all that spicy. Let's see what else they have this year. Habanero garlic, that'd be spicier. Apple sauce. Lemon stuffed olives, and that could be interesting. Not spicy, but that could be interesting. Habanero stuffed. Got those last year. I think they were maybe in the High Hill ones we got last year, and they were pretty good. Plus we got, what did we get? We got with the chipotle olives. We got the chipotle olives at High Hill this year. So I don't know if we'll pick up much of anything here. I mean, here we're of course going to get like pies. Maybe a hot sauce. I could do 2 hot sauces for Christmas tacos. Maybe On a raspberry habanero seems weird for tacos though. And another habanero, and I like habanero, but is it possible to get too many habaneros? So is good and evil as a flavor a thing? Because somewhere else was it High Hill had like good and evil olives, and here we have good and evil pickles. Is that like actually a thing? I was previously unaware of good and evil as a flavor. Now, does it mean good and evil as opposites, or something that is, oh, that's good and evil? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. One of the many things I don't understand. We have lots of frozen pies, frozen dough, frozen fudge, frozen dumplings, but mostly I'm interested here in the hard cider. I don't remember which one I bought last year. I think it was just the apple. I don't know, could do palm or berry this year. I'm not gonna do maybe peach, no, not peach, definitely not peach. But I could do palm. Palm could be interesting. It certainly looks nice. Good sized bottles too. Generous sizes. They used to do free wine tastings, but I don't think they do free anymore. It's now just like a bar where you can buy ciders and beers. I mean, they do tasting, but I don't think it's free any longer. I think you pay like a small fee for a number of tastes, which is unfortunate, but I'm also driving, so it doesn't really matter. There's some lovely Boa Vista glasses though. Pint glasses, stemless stemware, and of course, gotta have the jar. Now, if apples aren't your thing, maybe honey will be. Do you have Boa Vista honey? El Dorado honey. Got more honey over here. Got Mother Lode honey. More Boa Vista honey. Yeah, that's where they have all those flowers back at Apple Ridge, is to feed the bees that make the honey. The sage honey is very light, isn't it? I kind of prefer dark honey myself. I think wildflower is probably what I'm most used to. Well, so we found something over here. What have we found over here?
Something you would like.
Dips?
Yeah.
Dips are nice.
Horseradish dip and pepper dip.
Garlic horseradish could be interesting. That could go either way though.
They have apple horseradish. They have bacon pepper dip.
Yeah, what kind of pepper though? Well, look around. Let's see what the ingredients are.
Very tiny print.
Sugar, tomatoes, like jalapeno.
Oh, you like jalapeno.
I don't like jalapeno.
What's that? Oh, no.
Jalapeno is one I don't like.
I was thinking you said habanero.
Habanero?
They do have a pineapple habanero.
I think probably roasted garlic horseradish should be the one I would go with if we were gonna get one.
Yeah, the hatch chili and bacon.
Hatch chili had its moment a few years ago. It's not awful. As long as not like actual chunks of hatch chili in it. Applekraut could be a very interesting thing, but I would definitely want to try that before I buy like a whole jar of it. Now that we've actually made our purchases, it said on the sign there that there were samples of Applekraut at the sample hut, and over here we have a queue for the sample hut, so I think we need to try us some Applekraut and maybe get a little sip of cider too while we're at it. Not the hard cider, just the standard Boa Vista cider. All right, so tried some apples and pears, but here was the goal: Applekraut. Can you hold that? So I'm gonna try to have some Applekraut here. Smells
Vinegary?
a little bit. What do you think? Smell it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not repulsive. Try some. It's like a slightly vinegary applesauce kind of a flavor. I can taste cinnamon in it. Apple, obviously.
Not my thing.
It's not my thing, no. It's interesting, and I'm glad I tried it. And I'm also glad I didn't buy a jar of it, because it's certainly better than sauerkraut, but I don't know what I would use it for.
You could use it on chicken or something, like as a glaze.
Yeah, maybe.
It has a savoriness to it, but it's also sweet like a apple
Like
pie.
apple, it's got kind of like apple saucy kind of flavor. Yeah, apple pie too. Interesting. Glad I tried it.
Yeah. Sure, I'll take a berry.
Boa Vista is the first place we've actually bought a fair amount of actual fruit, apples and pears and pies and such, and it's usually where we end up buying most of that stuff. They've made I think that the track for the train quite a bit longer this year than it was last year. But I think we've exhausted pretty much what we have to do here, so there's still other places to go, and we're gonna head off to one of those. And now probably our final stop of the day, Abel's Acres. Another one we usually do hit up. They have a decent food, although we've already eaten, so that's probably not gonna be a thing. This is where we got that really cute Appleton plush last year. But yeah, they have a lot of crafty stuff over there, a lot of food stuff in here, and a lot of edible food stuff outside. So let's take a look around and see what there is to see. Looks like they didn't restock on Appletons this year. They only have like the one guy left. Glad we got ours last year.
Welcome in, everybody.
Oh, there's more Appletons. Good, I was concerned. I mean, we already have ours, but I was concerned for the rest of you. Of course, we have to have gonks. Gotta have gonks. Gonks and face painting. Every place has both. I'm not sure why the Millennium Falcon is here or why it has a gourd on it, but or what it's actually even quite made out of. But here it is in all of its glory.
They're pretty.
Guitars.
Handless Johnny Appleseed is still here, and you can still see how much you've grown or shrunk since your last visit. There are some activities at this one, kind of like Apple Ridge. We have actually a much bigger maze. This is a much larger maze than theirs, I think. At least it looks like it from up here. And then we do have the gemstone panning here as well. I wonder if they use the same source of sand and stones. I wonder how many different companies there are that possibly offer that. Still a little bit smaller than Apple Ridge, but we've got the basis, general basis covered. You got food, you've got activities, you've got crafts, you've got gifty things. What more do you need from an Apple kitchen? And I'm sure somewhere, oh yeah, there it is. Face painting. One thing I've always kind of thought was neat about Abel's is the little like dining gazebos. Now, of course, with the mesh falling off, it doesn't do much to keep the bugs out, but I still think they're just kind of neat, kind of a little extra something that you don't see at the other places. Also a giraffe. Some information on the whole panning for gemstones thing. Oh, apparently you can do fossils too. I'm guessing these must be like the different levels of bag you can purchase, like a fossil bag or a mother lode bag, which might have something huge like this in it. Oh look, horses. And I think that our stop at Abel Acres will bring our trip to Apple this year to an end. It's of course always nice to get away from the suburbs to not totally rural, but certainly more rural, more suburbs. A lot more green. A lot of it, you know, it's kind of already geared towards like getting you to spend money to, you know, buy pumpkins and trees and apple stuff and honey and olives and such, and we bought a fair amount of all of those things. Well, no trees or pumpkins, but we bought like apple stuff and honey, and we didn't buy honey, we bought olives. I bought olives. But definitely was worth it to come on a weekday instead of a weekend. I mean, it still got fairly busy, but nothing like last year or, you know, years where we come on like a Saturday. And I think we did spend actually a little bit longer here today as a result, although I think last time we did spend more time here than we normally would. Of course, part of that was 2 hours in line to get coffee. But it was a full day. Got our 10,000 steps in. Saw Apple Hill for this year. Got some stuff. Now it's time to head back down the hill into the suburbs, back to the void space, where we can, I don't know, at some point, not in this video, don't worry, I'm sure this video is long enough. Check out that cider and those olives and other stuff we picked up in future videos. But you know, nice to get up here, get a little bit more peaceful, than where we normally spend our time. A little more trees, not quite nature, not quite touching grass, but a little bit more natural. And I do want to thank you for joining us on this trip. I hope you found it all interesting or entertaining. If you did, go ahead and give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Probably still be a guy's engine while we time to get there too.